Hello and welcome to the CCTV American News Hour. I'm Mike Walter. Let the games begin. Russia's first stint as host of the Winter Olympics started with a bang. But Friday's opening ceremonies did not go exactly as planned. After the balloons and odes to ballet, classical music, and great authors, one of the 5 Olympic rings failed to light. But Russian TV reportedly didn't show the mistake, covering it with video from a previous rehearsal where things went smoothly. Still, the ceremony's biggest moment went to 2 of Russia's greatest Olympians. Hockey legend Vladislav Tretiak and figure skater Irina Rodnina lit the Olympic flame. At the same time, the Winter Olympics opened in Sochi. Sky-high drama in Turkey. Turkish security forces on Friday detained a man accused of trying to hijack his flight and deferred it to the Russian resort town. CCTV's Callebs joins us now with more on this security scare.
Yeah, really amazing. We've heard so much about the possibility of something like this leading up to the games, and with all of the drama surrounding the possibility of some kind of terrorist threat haunting this year's Winter Games in Sochi, Russia, perhaps it's not surprising that the first hiccup did occur today. A passenger on a flight from Kharkiv, Ukraine to Istanbul, Turkey, was disrupted by a Ukraine man who made a bomb threat and demanded the aircraft be flown to Sochi. The pilot signaled there was a hijacking attempt, and immediately F-16 fighter aircraft were scrambled and began escorting the plane. These are some of the first images released after the aircraft landed safely at its destination in Turkey. Authorities let the suspect believe the plane was being flown to Sochi, where ironically the opening ceremonies were just getting underway. Turkish authorities snuck on the plane and subdued the suspect, while all 109 passengers were evacuated safely. Security officials say no weapons were used, but the alleged hijacker was slightly injured when he was taken into custody. The man didn't have a bomb, and his motive remains unclear. Some news agencies are reporting the suspect appeared drunk. Turkish officials deny that, but say he may have been using some other kind of, quote, substance, Mike.
And you know what's interesting about this, Sean, is there's been so much lead up, such a build-up on security leading up to the games. What about the Russian government and Putin? What are they saying?
Yeah, really hearing from a lot of international journalists, they're a bit discomforted hearing that so much attention is focused on security and not the athletes. Vladimir Putin's government has made it clear. He says he wants this to be the safest games ever. There are 100,000 security forces, troops, police patrolling the area, but the concern is always going to be the possibility of Islamists from the Caucasus trying to disrupt something in Sochi or in even a neighboring area, anything that's going to get media attention and take away from the games and discredit Putin.
All right, Sean, thanks so much.
We have one other security issue I neglected to mention as well today. Today, just about 4 hours ago, here in Washington, D.C., somebody tried to leap the gates outside the White House. This is by no means challenging anybody to do that. It's not going to work. He was tackled, dragged away to custody. The president, meanwhile, was in Michigan.
Not a smart place to try.